Alright, we got this old turdy boat, the one with some holes in it, one there and two back here and here, and probably several leaky rivets. I'm not exactly sure what model boat this is. I thought it was a Sears. It came with the budget build boat trailer, and I decided to get another boat to use for that project. So I am left with this, and I decided to do a few things to it at least. We're going to fix those holes, coat all the rivets, to coat the whole bottom of the boat with some kind of epoxy, and I'd like to take the paint off of it. And that's where we're going to start with those few things for the bare minimum. We might turn this into a whole project. I don't know. I kind of have a little idea kicking around in my head of what this boat could look like, but I don't know if I want to spend that much time and money on it. But like I said, we're going to at least do those few things to it right now, starting with getting this paint off. Well, all right, as far as getting the paint off this boat, if you guys recall, I took the paint off the boat of the orange Alumacrush boat I did, and it had several layers of paint on it. And what I used was this Jasco Premium Paint and Epoxy Remover, and it worked okay. It took me a few days of painting it on with a brush, and then I would take a wire brush and kind of scratch it in, and then kind of peel it off after it kind of started flaking up. Like I said, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but it got the job done. Now, I had a subscriber comment on a video, I think it was the Alumacrush video, here recently, talking about another channel they saw using oven cleaner to get paint off. And I told him, I got a boat that I might try that on, so here we are. I went to Walmart yesterday and picked up some Great Value brand oven cleaner. This stuff ain't that daggum cheap. I don't know how far one little can will go, but it's like $5 a can. This is Great Value brand. I think that thing of Jasco, I know it's enough to do that boat, and I think it was like 12 or 13 bucks. I mean, I don't know, maybe one can will do the whole boat. But I want to compare the two side by side. I'm going to do half of the bottom with oven cleaner, and I'm going to do the other half with the Jasco, and let's see how well the oven cleaner performs. Alright, everything I read on the internet about oven cleaner taking off paint said to leave it on for about 20 minutes. It's been about 25, and we're ready to take it off, see how it works. Another thing that a few people brought up when I removed the paint on the Lumacraft is, how about trying a pressure washer to get the paint off versus trying to take a wire brush and scrub it off. So we're going to try that too. See how it works out. I would say the downfall to using a pressure washer is it's probably going to take more than one coat to get this paint off, regardless which one works better. And after you wet it down, it could affect your second coat, so you might want to let it dry another day before you apply your second coat. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's just my thought process. But we're going to try this pressure washer and see how it works out. So let's go ahead and see if we can't knock this paint off. Alright, I worked on that crap for 21 minutes. I know, because I filmed the whole thing. which I know I'm going to have to speed that up because y'all don't want to see me working a pressure washer for 21 minutes. But anyhow, here's the results. I stopped about halfway and took a wire brush and kind of worked around and then went at it again. I don't really think that helped a whole lot, but I wish I would have done that before I put water on it. I think it might have agitated a little bit more. But I really can't, to be honest with you, I really can't tell a difference in either side. I mean, I think this was a little bit more bare before I even started. So this spot right here makes the oven cleaner look worse, but I mean, I guess if I had to, I'd give a slight edge to the paint stripper. It just seems like the oven cleaner has some bigger spots, and the paint stripper took most of the green off, or more of the green off. But neither one just did a fantastic job. The back, the oven cleaner looks like it did a whole lot better than the paint stripper for whatever reason. But over here, as I was just kind of spraying it as I went, and I don't know if it's because of the runoff or what, but the pressure washer took almost all of the rail paint off on this side. And I tried to do the same thing over here where the oven cleaner was, and it didn't do as good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, in my conclusion, neither one is that much better than the other to say it was. Definitely need to do another coat. I read the backs of both of them, and neither one specifies to not use it on a wet surface. But I just feel like putting it on top of water is just going to dilute it and not let it work as good. But, you know, I'm not a freaking chemist. I make Fruit Loops for a living. So I'm going to hold off to second coat until tomorrow. And probably do the same thing, except I'll let it sit on there and then agitate it with a wire brush and let it sit a little bit longer, then go with a pressure washer. Pressure washer makes a freaking mess. I had to wash my whole shed down because it sprayed little chips everywhere. But I will say that oven cleaner on the back says do not apply to aluminum. I don't know if that's a specific brand that I got or all oven cleaners, but I don't know why. But just so you know, it says do not put on aluminum surfaces. But that's what we're doing because we're rebels. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we can knock more of this paint off. That didn't get as far as I wanted it to. I took a little wire bit, wire attachment, whatever, and went over all these rivets and tried to knock all the, somebody done put some putty on them or something, some kind of JB weld. But I just wanted to clear it out, make sure there wasn't no flaky paint around them, because we're going to put some epoxy on it, some of that coated stuff. And now I'm going to take this mouse sander with 80 grit, basically just knock all this loose paint off. I ain't worried about getting all the paint off. This boat's rough. I done found even some more. See what? Look at this. You see that crack right there? There's another hole I found. A little crack right there. This boat is it's pretty rough, and I can't lie to somebody about it. So I'm gonna have to just see it as an experiment. Of course, we got these two, and I told you I found another one. Where's it at? Yeah, right here. That's a pretty good one. So we're just gonna use it as an experiment in between boat builds, I guess. I've been wanting to use that coated crap, whatever it is, goop, whatever, and compare it to the glove it, how it. I mean, I'm gonna test the boat out, obviously, make sure it doesn't leak before I try to sell it, but I'd like to see how it performs as far as putting it on there, curing and all that. And I don't know, I'll probably get some Rust-Oleum paint or something. I might have enough stuff laying around here and just slap some paint on this boat. But I said we ain't gonna do too much to it because it just ain't worth it. All right, let's sand this thing down. All right, so I got this thing all sanded down, kinda. I mean, if this is your first video of mine you're watching, please know that I'd go a lot further than this on builds that I really care about. This boat is just, I'm trying to get rid of it, to be honest with you. I want to make sure it doesn't leak, and I don't want it to look like crap. So if this boat just ends up okay, then I'm fine with that. Anyhow, all right, to address these cracks, what we're gonna do, I got these Aluma-Weld rods from Harbor Freight. I mean, I have an aluminum welder in there, but I wanted to try these. I've tried the ones that you get from Lowe's and Home Depot. I think they're a Hobart brand, and they're a little bit high temperature to where you risk warping your metal. These are supposed to be a little bit less harsh, so we're gonna try that. What I've already done is I drilled a little 1/8 inch hole on each side of the cracks to keep it from spreading. Hopefully the drilling the holes will stop the crack from spreading. And of course I've cleaned it up with acetone and then with a wire brush too. So now what we're gonna do is use just some regular propane to heat it up. I can't remember what this stuff is. Working temperature is 730 degrees. So I mean, that's pretty high. And you gotta remember that aluminum really dissipates heat a lot, which on the bottom of this boat where you got these ribs, it helps strengthen it up. Now, if you were trying to weld a hole in something flat and you heat it up to 730 degrees, it's most likely gonna warp it. But since we're right here, I think we're gonna be safe. Anyhow, we're gonna heat it up and then take the rods, which I've already done some already, and you just kind of scratch at it, heat it up, scratch at it until you see the rod starting to melt. You don't want to put the rod directly in the flame because that's obviously going to melt the rod, but your metal right here, your aluminum right here, has to be 730 degrees. That way when the rod melts too on it, it actually gets a bond. All right, so let's see if we can do it on this crack. All right, we got these kind of sealed up, I believe. They ain't the prettiest stuff I've ever seen in my life, but we are going over all of these spots with some of that epoxy coated goop, whatever you want to call it. So I think this hack job will suffice. I would like to point out that if you can get some MAP gas, it's twice as fast heating this metal up, this aluminum. So I know, actually I watched a video on some dude using these and he used propane. I don't know if he sped it up or I don't know, different working conditions or what, but if you can get some MAP gas, definitely go that route because propane takes way too long. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take that brush and clean these up and then we'll be ready to coat it. All right, just to be perfectly transparent with you guys, you see these cracks. I've tried to do this several times, and these, I guess whenever that aluminum cools back down, or I guess it shrinks, and it just re-cracks. These in the back seem to have done a little better, which I haven't cleaned these up either, which this one's a little cleaner, but I don't know, just want to let you guys know, give you an honest review on this stuff. You know, it's not the best. I swear, I don't know if it's just something I'm doing wrong. I mean, I'm cleaning it, acetone, I'm cleaning it with a brush that I'm only using for aluminum. And I don't know, I'm heating the metal up. But as far as I know, I'm following the instructions. And it's not working out good for me. These cracks, I'm not so concerned about, but I'm going to try to make a patch for this one. I'm going to try to remelt this stuff out maybe, and then get me a piece of aluminum, fold over here, and then try to use those brazing rods again for that, and just play around with it, see what works. But anyways, let you guys know, I mean, I know there's so many videos on the YouTube about how easy this stuff is, and it's like a daggum perfect weld. Well, it's not, at least from me. All right, let's see if we can fix this crap. All right, got a little patch going on there. It didn't really want to stick either. I think a lot of the problem with welding up these boats is just they're around water, and they're just a lot of chemicals get in them. The crap, just, you know, being in water the whole time, I'm sure the aluminum absorbs some of the crap from the water. And then, of course, you got all the paint. It's, you know, probably leaching chemicals in too, which I've heard a lot of people say that welding, like actual welding, you know, aluminum boats is harder than regular aluminum. So I don't really see how those welding rods really be any much different. But anyhow, we've got that patched pretty good. And what I'm going to do is go over all the rivets and the patches that I made with this stuff right here. This is coated. If you watched my videos before, I usually do glove it, but this stuff is almost half the price as glove it, and I wanted to give it a shot. I really haven't seen anything bad about it online. Not as many reviews that I have seen for boat applications as glove it, but you know, why not? I mean, it's specifically made for boats. It's got a little guy on a John boat right there. But this stuff says pretty much the same stuff as glove it. You want to sand the surface, which, you know, we didn't sand it down to bare aluminum, but we got most of where the rivets and the patches is going to be pretty close to down to bare aluminum. So this right here says a clean, freshly sanded surface is essential to creating a good bond. Remove all contaminants such as oil, grease, dirt, and old coatings. Sand until you have a clean surface. Steel and or aluminum boats should be sanded or cleaned with steel wool and treated with a marine phosphoric acid wash such as naval jelly or aluminum bright to remove any rust oxidation. Tape off boat sides if necessary. So to remove any kind of grease and oil, I'm just going to wipe it down with acetone. We pretty much got it sanded down pretty good. All the spots that really need this stuff to adhere is sanded down to bare aluminum. I'm not going to do the aluminum. I actually have aluminum bright here, so it's really lazy of me to not use it. But I'm going to forego that. That's one step that glove it doesn't call for. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to be okay. We got a fairly clean surface. And this also is a two-part thing, just like glove it. You got a part A and a part B, and you mix it 7-to-1. And it actually says do it by weight, so I'm going to do it on a scale. And I'm going to try to go with 7 ounces. 7 ounces of A, 1 ounce of B, and see how far that gets me. I'm going to mix it up in a cup. It says to mix for like 67 minutes. That's glove it, I think, says to mix for a really long time too. So we will see. So I need to go ahead and wipe this down with acetone, mix this stuff up, and we'll put it on there, see how it does. Now, see this stuff? It looks like it's got little pieces of metal in it. It says something about with graphite, but it's I want to say it's a little thicker than glove it, and it's definitely not clear like glove it is. Glove it is a little opaque, but this stuff is gray. All right, I've been mixing it for like 10 days, it feels like, but we're getting close to the 6-minute mark. And it says you have a 30-minute working time with it, and you can apply it with a brush or like a throwaway brush or a foam roller, it said. So we're going to use them cheap little Harbor Freight throwaway brushes for this. I hope it doesn't sag real bad. I mean, it's thick, but it's a little soupy too. And I was going to put it on the rivets on the side, you know, below the water level, just to, you know, as an extra precaution. So might have to eyeball it for a while. 30-minute work time sounds pretty good though, so maybe it'll seize up pretty quick. All right, let's put it on there. Woo! All right, there we go. That ended up being a really good amount, the 8 ounces that I used in total. I didn't have any waste, which I also had a lot of spots to hit, but I think that's a good starting point if you have like a 10, 12, maybe even a 14-foot boat. So you don't have a whole lot of waste on this. It says that the cure time is 10 to 12 hours, so that's going to be it for today. And we'll come out here tomorrow, see what it looks like. Hopefully it does pretty good. Well, all right, this video's went a little longer than I expected it to after doing a little bit of editing, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill it here. I feel like we did cover a lot of things in one video. I just never really got to a good stopping point to make some shorter videos with it. So I'm gonna combine it all into this one video, but I don't wanna go any further on it. I don't wanna end up with a 30-minute video. But we was able to compare oven cleaner and paint stripper on this boat, and I will say the paint stripper did a little bit better. I think after tax it was like 23 bucks at Lowe's, and I went through 2 cans of the oven cleaner to do, you know, just half of the boat. So I would say it would take at least 4 if not 5 cans. So you're looking at the same price. So if you're just really needing some paint strip and you have some oven cleaner on hand, yeah, use it. It'll do the job. All right, I have to point out that, you know, maybe I don't know what this paint was on this boat, so maybe oven cleaner would work better in your application. I will say that it worked. In this little trial right here, it didn't work any better than the Jasco paint stripper. Will it work better for you on the paint on your boat? Maybe. You know, I'm not saying that it's bull crap and you shouldn't get it. Yeah, try it if you want to. I mean, it does take paint off, but I don't think, in my opinion, it doesn't do any better than the paint stripper. Not to mention, paint stripper goes a lot further. We also used the pressure washer. It did help. It was a lot less elbow grease using the pressure washer, but it made a mess, and I feel like it actually took longer than using a scraper or a wire brush. So that's another option if you're interested in that. You know, we did that too. And we're using this new aluminum boat epoxy. We won't really know too much about how well it works for a couple videos probably. It looks like this is going to be at least a 3-video series. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of crap to it, because this boat just really isn't worth it, to be honest with you guys. I feel like I'm not going to get any more than 200 bucks for it if I put a transom in it and put a couple coats of paint on it, just to make it where it doesn't look like a dog and will catch some attention on Marketplace, because I don't want to deal with people coming over here trying to kick the tires on it for 3 or 4 weeks. I'd like to be a fairly quick sale and just get it out of my hair. So this is just going to be kind of in between builds. I'm waiting on a couple builds hopefully to come through. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to do first, but might as well get this out of the way to make a little room anyways. All right, all of you that have trudged through this video this long, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.